man and man must reason. So, I think it's prime time that we address some more issues. Simple information I will use. No rocket science to get you confused. So relax your mind, make sure everything is fine, while I take you down a poetic line. Trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain, you now refrain. I remember you say Liberation Day, and I ask, you sure is that you wanna say? Cause it sounded so good to believe. And deception is a powerful thing when you lose your rightful thinking. So we voted for the bling. But you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain, you now refrain. Yellow, yellow all the way is what everybody say. Cell phone ring, man answering. Yellow, yellow, no hello. Teeth get yellow, house get yellow, bus get yellow, man get yellow, even green get yellow, and so says 11-4. When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain, you now refrain. Old school parables say you know what you have, but you don't know what you go get. So cherish what you have to diminish regret. But what on earth lasts forever? Not even things created by the great Jehovah. So the green grass ceased to grow to allow the yellow vibes to flow. But boy, one song I sing, one bell I ring. If we didn't know, we'd never know yellow would have treat us so. When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain, you now refrain. They began with the blame game, giving NNP more fame. Past administration, the cause of frustration. Past administration, chief of corruption. Then to economic recession, we can't give you attention. Economic recession, the cause of poverty in the land. Economic recession, no employment for the ordinary man. When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain, you now refrain. All your projects are stuck in a pipeline, but when asked, how is the country going? Oh, fine. We are looking into it. Never mind. Only projects in pipeline. No water to cool down the yellow temperature. When will they start? Please answer that. Oh, soon. Maybe by the next full moon. Although things are turning at a very slow pace, we now run no race. 5 years is a lot of space. It's just a few hungry people in another place, and a few disgruntled green people with their vexed face. When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain, you now refrain. Busy governing, busy managing, busy politicking, busy neglecting, busy inflicting poverty and hunger throughout Grenada. 1,000 Frenchmen can never be wrong, but you hold your yellow conviction strong. So why not send them advisors home? They're sucking money like water in foam. And rehire the Imanis, less stress on the economy. You are Manchester, hold up the country. You don't see us down by the bureau when you send SSU to between. Trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain, you now refrain. So we've heard about your internal division, but some can't digest that one. Remember the man say he's an asset to the party, and will we vote you without him? You left him with Glenn alone. Maybe they cloned. And however, I foresee a pretensive unity that will mislead a lot just before the next ballot. But you guys will have to come real good, cause it's a long time Grenada ain't eat a food. You think politician would trick us with campaign promises? We won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain, you now refrain. You remember in the Bible God had a plan for Jonah to restore Nineveh, but who will restore Grenada? Is it the same Jonah? Lots of doubt, so I'm running up my mouth. And politicians sometimes form a crooked batch. After they get the vote, they now sing one note. But here comes Fort Judy and Nansapine with $1,000,000 house and brand new car on the scene, while our hungry bellies still grumbling. And you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain. So yellow people say, next election, not me stain that finger. Cause after we say enough from Jonah, here comes still with more pressure and hunger. And from the mouth of Grenada, only one thing I utter: the Congress neglect us, the Congress fail us. And I could never understand the distribution of the wealth. So drink your bush home if you want good health. And for real, we appreciate the free barrel, but they only come in December. So what we do from January to November? Suck salt and drink Nawasa water. When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain. You now refrain. By the way, what will be your theme for the next campaign? It can never be about change again. And in what language are you going to tell people to vote for NDC? In Japanese or Chinese? You better wrap up $1,000 in yellow jerseys for we, or give us everything free as in the days of NNP, or else funeral for NDC. Whatever, Grenada still belongs to we. Although enough things affect us negatively, we are still blessed by the Almighty. This poem may not be liked by you, but I know you will like this poem, for this poem is a problematic poem.
And good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. Yeah, Talking Points, but you all hear the voice, eh? Getting over the flu, but it's trying to go with my voice while it's going. But we won't allow that to happen, yeah? Don't worry, I have my ginger tea and thing there. The weather keep on changing. It's been a rough September, believe me, you. It's really been a rough September. Ja? Who know we? Saying a good night to our listeners via Noise Radio. Good night to you, Wade. Good night to our listeners listening to us via One Soca. Let me state early, I fully intended to do the Friday night program, but you all hear what's going on with my voice. You know this isn't my voice. And it's not AI. This is my normal voice. So you know there's a problem with my voice tonight. Let me say a special good night to Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Indeed, your son of the soil has not forgotten you. You know my love is always there for you all. My Petit Martinican family, my Carriacou family. When I say Petit Martinican family, some people just try to find out, well, who is the family in Petit Martinique? Too much family in Petit Martinique. Blood relative, no joke thing, you know. No pumpkin vine, blood relative, you know. Mount Royal in Carriacou, I'm saying a special good night to you. It's my father's foundation. Let me say good night to Springs in St. George, my mother's foundation. Good night to Guave, one of my grandfather's foundation. And to all of you joining us on the YouTube and on the Facebook, I say a special good night to each and every one of you. You know, a lot of you go out to do the talking tonight, so I open the phone lines early o'clock. The mouse you move there, this one moves so nice, right? No, that's the wrong mouse, that mouse over, so right, yeah. So a lot of you gonna have to do the talking tonight and help me out, you know, yeah. Other than that, by the end of the program, I will have absolutely no voice. Yes, indeed, and I see all of you checking in under the various lives. We say a special good night. Chris London, where are you, man? I don't think I've spotted Chris London yet. Camille Teresa Scott, a good night to you.
Yeah, and those that think they can change.
Helen Marie and Associates, good night to you.
Those that fight against the upright and hot and are too intelligent.
My hairdresser who I can't pass by, good night to you. Yeah, I see a lot of people saying use a lot of honey and lemon ginger and those kind of things. Yeah. If you all know, a strict kind of diet these days. A very, very strict diet these days. I could actually tell you more of what I can't eat than what I can eat.
My faith is in the God Almighty.
And sweet things is definitely not one of them.
You got to be with blatant lies and in disguise. You come to criticize.
Max and Francis, how you doing, my dear? Kathleen Jones, my loving cousin, good night to you. The Duncan family out there in Carriacou. Once your name Duncan, we's blood. Good night to each and every one of you. The Koi family, good night to each and every one of you.
That's why I'm rising.
My loving Auntie Sylvie, good night to you. Uncle Ba, good night to you. Ira, good night to you. Beverly, good night.
Yes, I'm rising and rising higher, higher, higher. Hypocrite get a beating. As a child growing in the ghetto, love was always my motto. Why did you do it? Why? I sing but
My goodness, yeah? Yeah.
who give you authority to jeopardize my integrity?
You know, this is interesting. This one is interesting, yeah?
Too many schools,
Let me see if I can pull this up properly for you all.
golden rule. You can't keep a good man down. You smite the shepherd and scatter the sheep. You cannot keep a good man down. As a man so shall he reap. That's why I'm rising, rising. Oh God, I'm rising higher and higher. I'm rising, rising. Oh God, I'm rising like a blazing fire.
You know, so I'm seeing this post on social media by a particular government minister. Somebody's asking me why I'm so late. No, I'm on time. Your time probably gone back or something. Yeah. And if you hear my voice, then you could understand partially why. Yeah. So I'm seeing this post by number 10, talking about them putting in three-phase current for the lights in progress. But Madam Thomas, go to Grenlec and you would find out that is being put in not because of any lights. That is being put in because at this time you have CTEC that have just constructed their new facility up there, and that three-phase work that is taking place there is not in relation to any lighting at La Sagesse. In fact, it would be nonsensical to focus on lighting there simply using Grenlec. I would have thought that if you're going into something like that at this point in time, the approach would have been, and let me just come off that there, yeah, the approach would have been that you would have tried to go environmentally friendly, that you have sought to use alternative power as one, not the only, but as one of the sources of dealing with the lights at Progress Park. But then again, you have to be smart to think of them things, and I don't want to accuse the members of the NDC of things that we know they are not. So I will not, tonight, I will not accuse them of being smart. Yeah? They think they're smart, but I will not accuse them of being smart. That is one thing we ain't doing here tonight. We want to be very truthful on our program. We don't want to be telling any tales and them kind of thing. So that is why we can tell you that when you check in relation to this, that is in relation to CTEC. CTEC gas station have just built a big facility down there. That is the reason that the three-phase going in. Stop lying now, man. What's all your thing? Yeah.
You can't keep a good man down. Who God bless.
And not me saying, that I tell you, I get that from, people around CTEC and within Grenlec, and so I know.
I put all my trust.
But you're so busy, like what? But you want to call the election? Oh, you're lying so like. Well, you want to call the election? Go ahead and make the joke now, man. Yeah, call the thing now. And you know what's interesting as well? During the day today, I received a couple calls from some folks in St. David. Now, as you all would very well remember, the La Sagesse facility was lit. The lights went up and the facility was lit before the last election by the then MP for the area, the Honorable Oliver Joseph. So you had that taking place up there, where the facility was lit and you had the lights put on. And so, in fact, NDC went and had their victory party there under the same lights that Oliver Joseph put up. Yeah, I know for several years when I went up to the sports up there with the St. David's track blazers and so, when I was within the Ministry of Youth and I went up there, they always asked for the lights. Even when they had different competitions and so there, St. David people would come up to me. They would come up to Brother Joseph and they'll always say, listen, we need the facility to be lit. And he made sure that if it was the last thing he did, he made sure that he lit, and that wasn't the last thing he did, but he made sure that he lit the Lasajes playing field. Now, we have a situation less than 4 years after that somebody went and decided now that they go in and take the lights that it have in Lasajes out and put in some different lights there. But the problem is that the lights that they have put in from some of the sports people using the facility, not me say, the people who using the facility say the lights that have been put in are substandard. They say some people came in, they hear some Indian company or whatever came in, and these people put up a next set of lights that replaced the original lights that Oliver Joseph had put there, and that the lights that Oliver Joseph put there, those lights were far superior to the ones that have been put there right now. So you take out the good thing and you give St. David sports people the bad thing. And not me saying it. The sports people in St. David are the ones who are making that claim. They are the ones that are saying that the lights that you have now come and you put in there, in St. David, in Lasajes, removing the other one, and they're asking if it's not signed, because you know with this government there's a lot of kickback kind of thing. So they're asking the question, if the reason you did it is because you saw an opportunity to make a little cut off of a kickback in relation to the lighting. That is what the sports people are asking. Well, I can't assume for that one. That is what the sports people are asking. They would like to know if the reason the good lights were taken out and bad lights were put up was because somebody had a little cut to get somewhere. A little 10-15% on the back end. Even if it's a 5 cent, considering 5%, considering the amount. Yeah, they ain't gonna take 5 cents, they will take 5% though. Yeah? So that is what they would like to know. Why have the good lights been removed and the bad lights put in its place? Because here I know kind of stories about this lighting thing, you know. No worry, we go talk further about that one of these nights. I'll gather in info. But I hear all kind of thing about this lighting thing that taking place and so. Yeah? And who getting a flip side here and who getting a flip side there. And all kind of thing I hearing about this lighting. Now nobody, and let me repeat, because you know, there are some people who are so intellectually disabled that they cannot comprehend simple English language. And I don't try to speak in high English here. I speak as me. I shall land as me. That's what I talk. If you know me personally, if you meet me on the street, if you meet me somewhere in the supermarket, wherever, yeah, because you know I was going to supermarket sometime, boy, but yeah, boy, you have to walk with pills and thing for your heart and thing when you're going inside them place they because the kind of prices you're hearing about in them place. Yeah? So, as it is right now, let me make it clear. We are not against any playing field being lit. It was the New National Party that organized the lighting of the Springs playing field, the Montrouge playing field, the Limes playing field, all of those done by Senator the Honorable Norland Cox. This is a fact. This is a fact. The lights, the poles for the lights, so towers, well not really poles, towers. Yeah, this is not Patrick Simmons thing when he's talking about putting lamp pole light on it. Towers that were brought in to put those lights and everything, all of that was done long before the election. The project was there and the lights were simply put up when the present MP came in. But Springs playing field, Norland Cox, yeah? You're talking about Montrouge, Norland Cox, Limes, Norland Cox. He was the one that guided that process. In fact, if you go back and listen to him on the political platform during the 2022 general election, you will hear him mentioning those as things that would soon be completed. Because I see some people talking about, well, they have no projects of their own to show. So they have to try now and say, well, why are they talking about who's that one project and who is this one project and so on? All of us, government is a continuum. Now they know government is a continuum, isn't it? But you know the bad thing here? The bad thing, and it's a good thing that the new National Party is a capable team of individuals and they have people around, like Honorable Gregory Bowen. They have people around, like Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. They have people around, like Mr. Roland Bowler, like Mr. Oliver Joseph. Yeah, they still have people of these caliber around. The Honorable Dr. Clarice Modest. So you have people around who have been there and done the job before. The Honorable Kate Skeeter Lois Peters. You have the Honorable Senator, the Honorable Nolan Cox. We go move the Senator just now and just have him as Honorable, because he winning the Carriacou seat. I ain't asking you. I ain't sending out no question here tonight for that one. I am guaranteeing you. Because you see how they get on when NNP had the meeting the other day? It's because they know what is happening politically in Carriacou and Petit Martinique. They know for a fact they ain't winning that seat. So they had to try and create that emotional wave. That wait, NNP ain't doing good up here. Yeah, right. All if you get to have people like me on air to explain things to people and to show the holes in what they're trying. They're trying to gaslight you into believing that their narrative is real and reality is not real. As little JJ does say to me sometime, Daddy, you're trying to gaslight me. I wonder where JJ get this thing from. Every now and again when I tell something to JJ, who will soon be 7, as his birthday is in 2 weeks. So those of you, aunties and uncles, godmothers, godfathers, JJ birthday is in 2 weeks. Just a reminder. But yeah, comes in sometimes he said, Daddy, why are you trying to gaslight me? And this is what the NDC is trying to do, gaslight people into believing their false narrative is reality and reality is false. And we cannot allow them to get away. We have to call it out when we see it. So when you see they run and they put up some picture and they say, oh, NNP meeting in Carriacou is a failure. One, for it to be a failure, NNP has to have said that we expect to have 1,000 people there. And when you got there, you had 100 instead. Then it would be a failure. So I'm trying to find out by what measuring stick, because it had a lot of people there, as you all saw, and we showed the video here. So we don't have to go into the deep part of that. But the thing is, what measuring stick is being used to say something is a failure or something is a success? The organization knows that it was a success, because you wanted to have a meeting to deliver your message to the people of that particular area, and that was successful. So nobody can sit down in the Broco bungalow in Miami and decide that the meeting was a failure. But you see, I tell you all, I continue to blame some of you all because you are the ones who has been feeding the beast. Some of you who are NNP supporters, because you want to get back at some relative, because you want to get back at some former employer, because you want to get back at somebody, you are the ones that's be in that individual's inbox sending them information to try and make them popular, and now it come back to bite you. Because some of the same people who have been sending information to those pages, some of the same people who have been sending information ended up getting attacked from the same page after. They can't say I ever sent anything to them. They can't say I ever interact with them. Can't say it. If they say it, they lie. And they have no proof. They lie. Telling you straight, they lie. Because one of the things that we have to look out for in the upcoming general election and before the upcoming general election is a lot of use of artificial intelligence. So they're going to continue to create these false videos that you see populating social media. And you have big, hardback supposedly intelligent people looking at these things and then asking if that is real. You have people who live in here in Grenada who know that what these people talking about mega projects is false and still spreading these things around like if it is real. All you're supposed to know better. All you're supposed to know better. All you know, we don't have no $1 billion airport building in Grenada. All you know that they ain't change over no seaport. They have intention of selling the area, but they ain't change over no seaport. You all know that what is being put in those videos, and the problem there is that you have many in the diaspora. Some of you whom have not been home for many years. It have people who have not been home since Ivan. It have people who have not been home since COVID, which was just 5 years ago, by the way. You have people who have not been home in 10, 15, 20 years and more. And these people, because they have not been in Grenada, are feeding on the false narratives of National Democratic Congress and basing their opinion on fake news. Yes, I'm going Trumpish tonight. Fake news. Because you have to call it what it is. If it's fake, it's fake. So you're seeing these videos paid for by the National Democratic Congress and their elements, their surrogates, their brown nosers and sycophants. You have these videos being paid for and created by various elements within the organization and aligned with the organization, populating social media. If all you know how upset I just get when somebody send this to me and ask me, sheldon, and some people who living in Grenada, you know, who living in Grenada, sending it to me. That's why I does not only realize I don't respond when they send them thing to me. Because if you sending that to me and something had to be wrong with you. Something definitely has to be wrong with an individual that could be living in the country, know these things are not true, and still asking if that is real. But you know it's not true. And they have been doing this thing now for nearly going on 2 years. They've been seeding Grenada big oil thing and Grenada bigger than Miami and all kind of nonsense. Trying to create a Maurice Bishop-like element, a Maurice Bishop-like charisma around the present Prime Minister. He's no Maurice Bishop. He didn't go and fight for Grenadians' right to use no beach. He didn't stand up against any mongoose gang and all kind of thing till he get his jaw break and end up in Barbados to go and get it fixed back. And I'm not saying that people have to be involved in violent activities. I'm saying that he is no way near the class of Maurice Bishop. I'm not a Maurice Bishop fan, you know. But when people do good, they do good, and he did several good things. He did several bad things too, but he did some good things. And at the end of the day, we have to praise what he did in the same way that we would say, yes, he did negative things. And some people would tell you, no, he never had a hand in that. Listen, we know he had a hand in certain things. So me ain't even getting deep into that discussion. But at the end of the day, the present Prime Minister and those around him believe that they have the mystique of a Maurice Bishop. But they go find out, call an election. all you go find out. You know them young boys, all you go found out. Call an election, all you go found out. Yeah? And let me see something. I'm seeing something here from a good friend of mine. The NDC in just 3 short years, look at what we have achieved together. We paid pension to our workers. False. Let me repeat again. We paid pension to our workers. False. Yeah? And let me go over that before I go down the road. The NDC did not pay pension. Pension became payable at the end of the court case that was not challenged by the New National Party. The New National Party took a conscientious decision not to appeal the judgment in relation to the pension case. At the point in time of the general election, the discussion was never about we not paying pension. That is a lie from the pit of hell. The entire video of Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell at the Grenada Trade Center Annex having a forum and discussing the pension issue, he never said, and nobody in the NNP ever said, and I would challenge any NDCI that's out there flapping their gums and saying that, to show any evidence of the new National Party saying they will not pay pension. That never happened. They said you have to pay it, but it is how you pay it. That you are not going to go and pay the entire thing in one go, and then you have to find, because remember, what you have to pay there are not just the people who are pensionable, but you also have to, all those who died as well. And I think some people seem to forget that those who died, the estates are supposed to be paid and so on. So there was a discussion that was taking place in relation to the modalities of how you do your payment so that it does not place a strain on the public finances. So that if you went and you just pay everything one go, one time, what happened in now is what would have happened. That you could have said, I'm going to pay it in 3 tranches. So I'm going to pay the first tranche, so people get some money. You pay the second tranche within 6 months or a year, whatever after, and then you pay the final tranche. What that would have done is given government the ability to utilize some money that it could have done in some areas, that it could have brought more money into the economy to make the burden of paying less. No way, no time did the new National Party say they're not paying pension. That is a lie. And the thing with it is that some of you all were down at the Trade Center, same as me. So you all heard the entire discussion. It is online. You can go and listen it. So they are trying to cut out this and twist the words of Dr. Mitchell now to give the impression that he said he's not paying pension. That was not true. And I blame people like myself, because during the election campaign, when that was being said out there, many of us should have been there defending it and saying, no, this is not what was said. We should have dealt with that issue. But instead of coming out and telling people no, because you see, I believe that what happened too is some of you probably had to benefit from it too. So you find, yeah, let me get my money now and done with that. And if that's your view, well, no problem. But many of us should have been telling people what the facts were in relation to that. So NDC never paid any pension to our workers. The government of Grenada, due to a court order, paid the pension due to the workers. There was a court order, whether it was the NNP government, whether GULP with the one seat that they run in, I think it's only one they run in, whether them they form the government, which was an impossibility, or any other political party that had formed the government, they didn't have a choice in the matter. It was no magnanimous feat. It was no, I love you so much that I'm paying you your pension. That is crock. That is nonsense. Let me take back that word. It might have children listening. I'm sorry, kids. But that is nonsense. Yeah? Absolute nonsense. Any government coming in had to pay it. So it is no achievement at the NDC that pension was paid. If anything, it's an achievement of the new National Party. It's an achievement of people like Mr. Gregory Bowen, whom were able, and you know I wasn't watching the thing here. But I'm a draw sugar. You feel like they wait a sugar apple? Yeah. If you want to give somebody praise for paying pension, talk to Gregory Bowen. He was the Minister of Finance that made sure that the economy of Grenada was managed properly. The finances of Grenada were managed so properly that there was money there to pay the pension. Because the same people that bumping their gum right now and saying, well, why NNP didn't pay the pension before the election? Had the new National Party paid the pension before the election, those same people would have been out there saying, yes, see, they run and pay the pension to buy vote. They run and pay the pension because they feel people go vote for them. That's why they run and pay the pension. They're looking to buy vote. But the NNP at the time was looking at, look, you have to have a secretariat. You have to find out all, because the NDC didn't come in today and pay pension tomorrow. they ended up having to expand on the same thing that the NNP was doing, which was they set up a secretariat. The secretariat was going through to find out who are the people that had to be paid and the quantum that had to be paid, and making sure that those people came in, brought the documentation. People had to bring the different documentation, and so giving people time to get things together before they were paid. NDC didn't just come in and say, we love you, and go and pay pension. That never happened. So stop this nonsense about we paid pension to our workers. You didn't pay no pension to our workers. The court ordered that the government of Grenada, that you just happened to be in charge of at that point in time, paid pension. And all you're so incompetent, all you overpay people, because some of the people that collected from the how much $1 million back in 2016, 2017, when the new National Party administration made those pension payments that many people seem to forget. Let me repeat that when the new National Party made those pension payments back in about 2016, 2017, around there, you all came in and paid those people again. So you had to ask some people to come and bring back money, because you all paid them more than you were supposed to pay them, because you all are incompetent. Same reason fishermen about to lose the ability to send fish to the United States. Again, your incompetence. We fixed the police pay and grade issue. You didn't fix the police pay and grade issue. Because when they were asking you to provide the documentation from Ernst & Young, you all said you can't find it. It was the new National Party that got that documentation together, that got the assessment together to find out what the new pay and grade should be. And that would have been implemented had a new National Party government come in place. So that is no achievement for you all to talk about achievement as in we fixed the pay. And you didn't fix the pay and grade issue. Your political leader was a lawyer. He never once stepped in the court on behalf of the workers of this country. Let me repeat it again. Deacon and Miss Mitchell and Co., Mitchell and Associates, whoever it is, one is the CBI, one is the lawyer firm. They never went in the court and defend workers. They went in court and defend big business against workers. So when was the pension issue? Where was the super lawyer to defend the lawyers of our country? Where was he? Where was the super lawyer to defend the workers of the country and to make sure that they get a pension? But after the whole thing done and the union pay for the people to go and fight up and get a pension sorted out, and after the court rule in relation to it and government change, and the only thing you had to do is release the funds, all of a sudden you are the champion in relation to pension. Man, go to hell. Same with the fixed pay and grade issue. We repaired most police stations and built a new police headquarters. Yeah, you build a new police headquarters in a strategically security stupid place. Yes, security wise, the place that you put the police headquarters is stupid. Yeah, and you built it over budget. Yeah, he looked nice on the outside. I hear he looked nice on the inside too, but that is about the length of it. Any one of those police officers who have done training in relation to security matters at a higher level can tell you that the police headquarters is situated bad. It's in one of the worst places it could be at this point in time. One of the worst places you could have put it is where you go and put it. But there, where we go see? Because you're going and put the post office in the same place. Like all you didn't see what happened when Tropical Storm Lenny passed. All you didn't see what happened. All you going to put the post office down there. All kind of titivation. I go, yeah, but all you had that one. Wait, it's coming. Yeah? Go and ask the police officers in Gove Police Station. Yeah? After Beryl come and they damage the roof above the female quarters, that right now you have water and you have mold and all kind of thing coming in there. I want the fellas in the charge room downstairs that the water from upstairs flowing and go downstairs. Yeah, go and ask them if all they fix that. Okay, yeah, if all they fix it, kudos. Yeah, how the guy paid last time? Nancy Pelosi clap? Yeah. All they fix that. Let me see. I want our police tell me. See our police will tell me. Police, all tell me. Yeah, tell me. We increase the minimum wage and then you take it back double fold because you go now and people that was paying $50 for electricity now have to pay 200 and something. People that was paying a look of 40 and 50 for water, if they couldn't afford to pay the $40 or the $50 and they go and they get cut off, they have to pay that. They have to pay reconnection fee and they have to pay $240. So whatever you give people in minimum wage, you're taking the tail back in taxes. You give it to the right hand, you take it to the left one. We understand what's going on with all it. They're giving it with the right. They're taking it back with the all right. We are tackling the healthcare crisis head on. All you're tackling the healthcare crisis head on, and people still go into health center and can't get medication. People with high blood pressure, hypertension, who need to have their medication because they could end up in problems if their blood pressure start to spike, if their blood pressure start to go up. It is going to cause death. These people can have a stroke, they can go blind, they could watch, they can, all sorts of things can happen to them. One of them being they could dead. And you tackling healthcare, your Minister of Health who are here about to fire, your Minister of Health is on record saying that healthcare has not improved. So we are tackling the healthcare crisis head on. All you're fighting with it in truth because all you ain't improving it. All you have to be tackling it in truth because all you ain't fixing it. We made teachers and other public servants permanent. But the New National Party was doing the same thing. Go and ask LL, yes, Lyden Lewis. Go and ask him if teachers were not made permanent under his watch. And ask him how many 100 teachers were made permanent under his watch. Yeah? Go and ask him. Ask him how many teachers, yes, Lyden Lewis, LL. And don't get between me and LL business. Me and LL could quarrel today and drink our rivers tomorrow. Don't get between me business. He will go on a platform on teachers thing or union and he will call my name. There is no problem. LL could afford to do that. LL is one of the people who know me the longest. But he was able to get under the New National Party administration permanent for a lot of teachers. I know many of them. People who were in the system for a long time. So all the NDC is doing is continuing what the New National Party was doing. But what they should explain to the Grenadian people is why, because remember the promise was, as soon as we take office, and by the stroke of a pen, it ain't supposed to have anybody working on contract right now in the state of Grenada, you know. We play it enough time, I have to play it tonight. By the stroke of a pen, as soon as we take office, remember those statements? So when you're talking about making people permanent, they were supposed to have been permanent since 2022. They ain't supposed to have people or they're still making permanent now. Because your political leader, your prime minister, said that contract work is illegal. So why does he continue the illegality that he has already pointed out, where he was telling people that he's willing to go to court and fight for them? Well, finally, he was willing to go to court and fight for workers because he make enough money fighting workers for big business. We are restoring hope and building trust. Well, there's no hope in St. Andrew, and it can't be any kind of hope that only restoring. And I know what kind of trust because nobody don't trust all you. You ask the littlest child in primary school about them, he's telling you there's thief. You're asking bus driver to tell you them is thief. And when you think them who support NDC qualifying it as, oh, NNP used to thief, so these fellas just doing the share now. They're qualifying it, they're denying it, you know. Them NDC meeting you and they're qualifying it. When you tell them, you call names, you say, well, what going on with Andy Williams? What going on with Ron Redhead and these fellas and them? When you ask them about that, you say, what going on in Carriacou? They're qualifying it, you know. And they're trying to qualify it. They're denying that thieving taking place, you know. They're trying to qualify it by saying it used to happen under NNP. Nonsense. We are building new international relationships. Yeah. That is why all you in Dubai all the time, costing the Grenadian taxpayer from what we are picking up, an average of no less than $100,000 a trip. That is what we're picking up. That you all are in the process, yeah, of building new relationships and international relationships. Yeah, man. We know what happened with one of those, she under arrest still in Nigeria. Those international relationships. The one who Prime Minister did jam up and making a little dance and things. She's still in jail in Nigeria. She outside. She on bail. Okay, yeah, that one. And there are others, don't worry. Time will come. These days I doesn't have enough time. But that will soon end. Yeah? We delivered free tuition at TAMCC and New Law, yeah, and you take away the transportation and so on. So now, the tuition is out of the way, but the children who have free tuition cannot get to the TAMCC. They cannot get to the New Law because you all have removed the transportation that they used to get under the new National Party, and some of the ministers used to take out of their pocket anyway, their own pocket, where they was earning half of what you all earning right now. Used to take out of their own pocket and pay for the tuition of these children. For those just joining, yes, I know my voice sounds off because my voice is off. Yeah, that is not no microphone, that is me. My voice gone. I damaged me yesterday. So to talk about you delivered free tuition at TAMCC and New Law, that is one thing. But what would have been more beneficial to them is if these young people had been able to get from home to there in the first place. But you all remove those subsistence and you say you provide free tuition. So they have free tuition, but they sit down home. Why you sit down home? Well, me I don't money to pay bus. Smart, eh? Brilliant. We provided more scholarships for our young people. Who provided more scholarships than the new National Party? Pick any point in time. Any point. Match up any 1 year of the new National Party against the 3 years plus of the National Democratic Congress. And it's chalk and cheese. There is no way that the NDC can match up to the stellar record of the NNP when it came to scholarships. Whether it's scholarships in various fields going to Cuba, young people who have gone there to study medicine, sports, medicine, full medicine, sports medicine, who have gone there to study engineering, who have gone there on nursing scholarships, who have gone there on various other scholarships. Yeah, computer science, all of these things. That young Grenadians left Grenada after Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell restored the relationship. Yes, there were one or two going before through, I believe it was the MBPM. So I think they used to get about 3 or 4 scholarships a year or so that they used to send people. Yeah, Terrence Marisha and them, Peggy Nesfield and them used to get some scholarship. And Peggy, you all used to get some scholarships even before that and have young people going up to Cuba. Then Dr. Mitchell, the brave man that he is, went and he recreated that link with the Cuban people, and Grenada was blessed with scholarships. In fact, right now, the rest of the Caribbean have to thank Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell because he opened the door, and that is why there are doctors in hospitals in St. Kitts, in St. Lucia, in Dominica, in Barbados, in Trinidad, in nearly every single Caribbean territory, that there are doctors, there are engineers, and various other categories of workers, both within the civil service and private sector, that got their education in Cuba, that only came about because Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell had such a good relationship that he was able to go to Cuba and he was able to have that rapprochement with Cuba, have that discussion with Cuba, reopen the door. So when the door opened, it didn't just open for Grenadians, it opened for everybody in the Caribbean region. That is why some people will continue to call his name 100 years from now, 200 years from now, 300 years from now, 400 years from now. They will call the name Keith Mitchell when other people's name will be lost to the dust of history. That is a fact. You cannot erase his legacy. because you have none of your own. And you had an opportunity over the last 3 years plus to create your own legacy. Instead of that, all you only did making a bunch of mawet roro and anyway. And that is all your list. All your list need all your list need a lot of help, boy. What? Yeah. We waiting. Yeah, let me see where's this one now. Oh, somebody make a post there about the same thing I've been talking about. Okay, yeah, let me show the Grenadian people what taking place here. Right. Yes, I'm going to go on to Facebook again here. Let me see if I could big it up. Yeah. So let's show the wonderful job that they have done with the lights. Yeah. So why was the Las Just lights changed? Genuinely asking though, because it's worse than the one that was there before. So maybe there's a reason and curious to know. We once had the best lighted park in Grenada. Yeah? And this young lady, I believe she's involved in football and other sports in St. David. So this was before how the lights that Oliver Joseph and the NNP put. This is how Las Just playing field was. Yeah? It was so bright you could have seen a future. Oliver! They say the lights in Las Just under the new National Party, those lights were so bright you could have seen a future. Look the lights they come and put now. What's my word? What's the lights they come and put now? Eh? You can't see a ball coming towards you. What was the lights they come and put? So that was the lights before, that is the lights after. Before, after. Yeah? What they went and changed the lights for? That look like it making sense. Folks, you all are watching on the screen. Does that make any sense to you what you're seeing here? Now these were the lights that were there. The lights didn't break. A hurricane didn't pass and destroy them. The lights didn't fall down. The lights didn't burn out. The lights were there. So you could have gone to Las Just and this was the quality lighting you had here. This government decided they go in and change the lights. And this is what they change it to. That is what they go and change it to. That the boo-boo they go and make day. Yeah? When they say transformation, yeah, they transform the place from light to dark. Yeah, man. They transfer the place from light to dark. That is what they do. Folks, as I said, you're hearing the voice. We're going to take your calls. 1473-440-7377. 1473-440-7377. So you all know definitely no program tomorrow night with this voice. Because I ain't cleaning up in one. If I try that tomorrow night, I'll be straining it. Yeah? Because I know I have a lot of talking to do during the day tomorrow, according to what I have to do. I know I have a lot of talking to do during the day tomorrow. So I know what's going to happen, man. I have to be careful. We have a caller online. Hello, good night.
Good night, Mr. Scott. How are you?
I am loved and I'm highly favored.
Yeah,
How are you doing?
I just called to give you a little advice about that throat. If you get a big thyme and clove and boil it together and rub the throat with some Vicks and like tight and keep it warm, so it will help. You know, just a little advice.
Yeah, what happened with the throat? I'll be honest with you, what happened with the truth. For the last few days, I've been sneezing. I went around a property and there was some plants there and there was a pollen that kind of affect my allergies. And in the sneezing, at one point in time, I felt like a bruising with my Adam's apple. And since then is when I've been having that problem with the throat. So it's more of a strain than like a flu sort of thing. So I was sneezing. Even when I was doing the program Monday night, I kept sneezing. That's why I had to keep taking the video off every now and again, because I kept sneezing.
Yeah, because when you sneeze, you have to be careful, because when you sneeze with a force, sometimes it affect you. You know?
So people
sneeze in,
Yeah, that's what really happened.
Yeah, but still try to drink some of these things and keep the throat warm to see if it could help.
Okay, my dear. Thank you so
You
very
know?
much for your
Yeah,
your
yeah,
kind
okay.
concern and care for talking points.
Yes.
Thank you, my love.
Okay, have a good night.
Same to
Bye.
you. Well, let's see how my listeners love me. Yeah, I know you all love me, that's why, yeah, you understand. Yeah, the amount, and don't think that's just one, you hear, call and say it. The amount of messages I see coming in on the various WhatsApp and so about, boy, do this, do that, the other, all kind of thing. But folks, there's a reason not to be kind of careful. And I'm seeing here the lights that were taken off from there, that those lights, caller, hold one moment, caller. The lights that were taken down,
Good night, good night.
hold one moment, caller. The lights that were taken down, those lights have a 10-year warranty. 10 years ain't passed yet. 10-year warranty on the lights that were taken down in Las Vegas. Go right ahead, caller.
Yeah, very sure, good night, good night. Very sure, you have a prime minister in this country. We say we have a prime minister that nobody can meet you. So many problems taking place in Grenada. You're unable to fix it. You're unable to fix it. You guys spend most of the time outside Grenada. Right? So I think what now he'll be visiting Grenada to see as a tourist. Right? So we come to like Grenada, now have a visiting prime minister, visiting now and then to see how Grenada looking and go back. The road in a situation, the worst situation they ever passed in Grenada under any administration. The Cliff Road, the Florida, the Closure Road, the farm situation with the fishermen, right? Other areas again that need the government to spend time, fix the situation to help better the country and make Grenada a place where people could be proud and happy of. He can't do nothing. He did not here for the people of Carriacou be diplomatic. But you want to say you're going to be a mediator between Venezuela and America. They were saying, if we can fix your home, we can solve problem in home. You want to go and solve a bigger problem? It's a courtesy begin at home. Right? And stay in Grenada. You say you're the prime minister, stay in Grenada and fix the problem. Solve the problem within Grenada. In fact, in Grenada, the second place in Grenada. Look at the people of Pittimatic, Sheldon. Look at the people in the situation where the people have to leave. Right? They get money. What happened? The people in Carriacou suffering under this administration. People in Pittimatic, board and stuff in Grenada, everybody suffering. Everybody catching the hell. Business people catching caught. Market vendors catching hell. Everybody catching the hell under this administration. Right? So you come now like the greater people vote for the government, not to care about them, but want to care about themselves. Care about themselves. I want to say to the Prime Minister, mind your business. You say you are the Prime Minister of Grenada, Carriacou diplomatic. Mind your business. Stay here and fix the problem in the country. Before you want to be mediator between Venezuela and America. Fix the problem here. But we can't fix the problem. We're going to fix other people problem. I call it again, Brother Sheldon. I always champion the cause with a bill. We people stand for what is right and follow the principle of God. God created man and woman, and that's how it should be. Right? That's how it should be. There's no between. Half man, part. You are part of man and part of woman. Man and woman. There's no Steve and Adam in the Garden of Eden. Right? So calling out the Grenadians, let us stand for what is right, and the church, let's stand for what is right. Don't trade your biblical stand and be bribed to follow a man agenda. stand for the truth of and stand for the word of God, and because Grenada a Christian nation, and if we say Grenada a Christian nation, we have to stand for the word of God, not go against the word of God and believe in believe in the fancy of man. Brother Sheldon, have a blessing.
All right, bye, brother. Thank you. Yes, indeed. 1473-440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get on to the inside of tonight's program. Yeah, I know the voice song funny, but I must do the program. I couldn't come. I do Monday night, I do Tuesday night, and then I can't say I ain't coming. Well, Wednesday night, we had the meeting. Can't come and say I ain't doing Tuesday night, man. After I've been off for a couple of weeks and things, I can't do all of that. No. But you all have to remember, I can't do tomorrow night because you hear it. If I go, I have to do certain things tomorrow, and then tomorrow night, I know if I go and I try that, I'm putting myself in trouble. Yeah, we have a caller online. Hello, good night.
Good night, sir.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. I want you to, right now I'm on the computer.
Yes, sir.
Search voters list by name and surname.
Mm-hmm.
And I type in Sheldon Scott.
Mm-hmm.
And I see frequente media worker. LO8. I don't know what.
They go ask how that happened
LO8.
Twice today because I did it today, Yeah,
LO8.
LO8, yes.
Now I am going to no. You got it, because that is very, very concerning to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Name, I'm gonna type in Francis, Francis.
Mm-hmm.
Francis. And I'm gonna type in Pierre, Pierre. Find me, Francis Pierre. There are a lot of, there is 1, 2, 3, there is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Francis Pierre, one for Carriacou, Paraclete, Coles Gap, Corinth, Tempe, Main Street, Sates.
Mm-hmm. I think Paraclete is the right one.
Okay, no, they are different Francis Pierre.
No, but I'm telling you the one in Paraclete is the right one because
Well, no. I'm just trying to figure out what is happening there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to call no name, but can you type in the names of the caretakers for St. Patrick's, please, on your end?
On my end?
Yes. Because I tried it on my end.
Uh-huh.
Tell me what you see.
I'm seeing one, and let me see the other one there. What's his name again? Oh boy, I saw some guy in BJ trying to remember his proper name.
The last name is John.
It's John. Oh, Bertrand John, yeah. So I'm seeing Jelani.
But that is a guy from who is a vendor, right?
No. I'm seeing Jelani here. I'm seeing it.
Well, yeah, Jelani, right. And not and the other one.
Yeah, I'm seeing him as well. Mm-hmm.
No, you sure that's him?
That's him, yeah.
Maybe I spelling it wrong there.
It could be that. You think we don't know what we're doing out?
Well, no.
What I want you, hold on. What I want you to do is this, though. There is something that I believe is happening in Grenada right now. When you check the voters list, just like I just checked it, and I could pull it up on the screen, let folks see that I just checked it, yes? So,
yeah.
When you check the voters list, there's an aspect here. You see at the beginning where it says select?
Yeah.
You need to click on that because it tells you where you are voting. Now, what can happen is that many people may not click on that select and see exactly where they're voting. They may just check and see, this is my registration number, this is my name, this is my sex, address, occupation, and my polling division. But while that may be so, the place you are voting may have been changed for whatever reason. So you may believe, for instance, if you're in South St. George, for instance, you may not even pay attention to the polling division. You may just say, okay, my name
Right.
there, you see your name, and you don't check where you're voting. And when you think you're voting at the Springs Pre-Primary School, you go there, your name is not there, and you find out you're voting down in Calais. And it frustrates you on election day to the point of you decide you're not voting again. We have to be on the lookout for this when we're canvassing the list. As individuals, when we're looking for our name, we need to do what I just did there, where I just click on select, and it showed you that where he's voting.
No, no, but the John I'm showing is a vendor from Mount Rodney. I
Yes,
don't know.
that
I
is the
don't know.
correct. That is the correct person. Do you know otherwise?
He's a vendor. That's
Well,
the same
no,
person?
but yes. So do you know otherwise? That's him.
Okay.
Yeah. So you see, this is me here, right?
Yeah,
Sheldon
yeah.
Scott, media worker,
Yeah,
so
I
on.
see.
So you see how
I
it
see
is.
you.
So you see that how this is now. Now you don't leave it
Yeah.
like that. What you do here is you click on select this part here, this little part here. I want everybody when they're checking to make sure and check that. Because you could think you're voting in Springs and end up in Calais. Now imagine if they were able to do that for 40 people out of a couple hundred or 1,000. If they were able to shift 40 people, that's 40 people that may go and stand up in the line for an hour, hour and a half, even 2 hours to vote because they didn't think to check the list at the station. They just check and they see the name on the app. And on election morning, they get frustrated because they're going to vote there. Then they find out they can't vote there. They have to go down to Calais and they get upset. So these sort of things we have to be looking for. So click on the select and it will show you this part where you're seeing Calais Government School. So I know exactly where I have to go and cast my ballot on election day. Yeah, I go down there, I look for the particular box for S. That's where I'm voting. Yeah?
Yeah, but
Okay, my
all
friend?
right.
Okay.
All right, okay.
Thank you so
All right,
very
thanks.
much. All right. You have a
All right,
blessed
bye-bye.
one. Yeah.
All right, you too. Bye.
Yeah, and remember, when people may have initially registered in the under the electoral system, they may have registered, like for instance, remember you're still seeing media worker there for me. That is what has been there for many years. That's been there from ever since I started voting. That's what has been there. I changed during that time. I changed from media worker to different things. I still do work in the media, yes, but I've changed from that to different things. But the initial thing that I was registered as, so it could be the individual registered years ago as a vendor. Remember the inter-agriculture and so on. So they would have been providing fruits and vegetables to different things. So there's nothing weird there. All right. Just remember that section. Select. Make sure you check there, and make sure that you are voting where you are custom voting. Don't go like for some people in St. David, you might be a custom voting, let's say at the St. Dominic's RC school, and all of a sudden your name end up in the St. Dominic's RC church. I know of people living in the same house in St. David who were supposed to be voting in and one voting in the school, one voting in the church. We have a caller online. Hello, good night.
Hi, good night, Mr. Scott. How
Hey,
you doing?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
Damn, long time I ain't give you a call, man. I said I call it tonight.
Yeah, no problem, man. You cut and go through.
Yeah, because I want to thank you for highlighting something that you just highlighted there, the lights at last address.
Mm.
It is a disaster, and I thought those guys at MC they upgrading, but they downgrading.
And hold on,
Trust me.
They says the same people that go in and light the stadium, you know.
And it's the same people I hear that like Progress Park. So I am a very concerned person when it comes to that because that is my field. And when I went to the playing field when they was installing the lights and I look at the lights, I say no, that is not the correct lights. The lights could only angle two direction, up and down. Normally those lights have to be lights that have 360 angle degrees,
Mm-hmm.
and that is not the correct type of lights. And one night I was driving on my way to Las Vegas, and as soon as I reached a place they call the basement, the lights literally, my windscreen was literally blocked off. First, the light was bright. People who driving on the main road from either side, the lights are directly in their eyes. The lights are shining all in the hills, all about, not directly in the playing field. And it is embarrassing.
So say
Because
say that part again, because I kind of guess sidetracked then. I didn't think I hear what you really said. That part you just the
Yeah.
light shining where?
all in the hills.
Hills and valleys too? Okay, all right.
Yeah, not in the playing field. I went down there Saturday to watch a game of football, and there's a lot of dark spots right around the playing field. Lights literally shining you in your eyes. You can't see properly. You can't see people in the stands. Yeah, and the sad part about it, Mr. Scott, you know that the lights could only function manually. Before, you could have been any part of the world and turn on the lights.
Yeah, because I remember it being turned on using his phone. If I
Any
remember
part of the
correctly,
world.
the Honorable Oliver Joseph
Yeah.
turned on those lights using his phone, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and even one of the guys who was in the playing field the Saturday, just for a sense of humor, he say if you're under the sea diving and you get internet connection, you could turn on the light. Yeah. Well, that is. I thought the fellas and say that we're going up and up. I find we going down. Yeah, and I hear they planning to have opening ceremony for changing a couple lights.
So they want to have an opening ceremony at Lhasa just for changing the lights to worse lights than were there?
Yeah, that is the talk. Yeah. I was talking to somebody high up, and they're saying if that light is a failure, Grenada will lose some points because they're supposed to have a friendly match with West Indies ladies against some other international teams, and if that'll pull through, Grenada will lose some ratings when it comes to that.
So let me explain something here, because I remember looking at that issue of lighting of playing fields before, and in specific that when it came to the national stadium and lighting, you're there, caller?
Yeah, I'm listening to you.
And lighting of the national stadium, that if you're doing it at world standard, brother, these people have a thing that you're supposed to actually walk on the field and you can tell the amount of light at different points in the field. And if it's too much at certain points, or if it's too little at certain points, they fail in you. You can't have
Yes.
night cricket. So it's not
Of
just we
course.
take lights, we hook them up and you put them down. And you
Yeah.
aim it down and you say, well, you light up the place. Because imagine what would happen if you're playing hardball cricket in the night, you're playing a match, and somebody look up to try and catch the ball and the lights in the eye.
Yeah,
You know what's going on with
that's
them.
true.
So
That's
it had
true.
to be set up in a particular way. You can't do no Viking fighting like what they come and change Las Vegas into. It has to be specific.
Where and the lights have to be at a certain color. The Lux light is a special light that if you're doing any broadcast, the glare of the light cannot handle the lens of the cameras.
No camera
Yeah?
flare, yeah.
Right. So these lights, you cannot broadcast anything because it is not the correct lights. And I was telling a couple guys there, I say I hope with fellas and them maybe going India and the deal they get maybe is so too good to be true to let it pass, but it's going to cost us in the long run a lot more.
Because the lights that were there had, 7 more years on them?
Yes.
They had seven
Cost
more
us in the
seven
long
more
run.
years of use on those lights that were there. And now we've ended up with
A couple months. And listen to me, and I hope those lights that they bring in there could take our weather condition, because we're close to the sea. Yeah? I hope those lights on them cannot take. I hope these lights on them those lights on them cannot take. If not, they will rot in a quick space of time, just as the LED street lights that they give us there. If you take a close look at each one of them, they start rotting already. All the LED lights that they put around the island, just take a close look at them. All of them start rotting already. They have some weak areas in them. I went to St. Patrick's, the long wall. All those up there rotten out already and falling down. Yeah. So
you must take some pictures and send it for your boy.
Yeah.
Anytime you pass again, snap it and send some for me.
Yeah. Especially you have a few in Woburn, going inside Woburn, they start rotting in already. And I'm talking about the pole itself, right? Start rotting in already.
Anybody can get pictures of it. Get pictures and send it for me, please.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so very much, my friend.
Yeah, man.
And you have a good one. All right.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed, folks. Yeah, 1473-440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get into the inside of tonight's program. Oh, so the company that under brother Oliver Joseph did the lights in La Sagesse, that same company did the Brian Lara lights, the lights at the Brian Lara Stadium in Trinidad. Wow. Okay. You know this company is, but anyway. We have a caller online. Hello, good night.
Hey, brother Sheldon.
Hey, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man.
But for some reason, I'm not hearing you properly. Hold on.
Because
hold on, Pastor.
About the changing of the lights.
Pastor, hold on. I'm not hearing you properly. I don't know if it's your device or if you're using a headphone or something. You may have to use the phone directly.
No, I'm direct on WhatsApp. Talk.
Well, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
So I was saying, you know, that caller that talked there. I mean, he's an authentic person. He knows what he's saying. But it saddens me, brother, to know that our leaders buying cat in bag. They're buying cat in bag because if they replace this light, listen, when we played, our school played under that light for February the 50th anniversary, you know that. And the light that we had there was eating pin, according to Mama and them. Eating pin, bright as what? Bright as lightning. But what I see, when you put up there, that person, I wonder if they didn't. Is that all the volume of brightness on the light, or we really have to double check that. But we're gonna get the photos for you. We're gonna get some photos because the light's looking good. Trust me, they're looking good, but they are not good. And that has to be a waste of money. I mean, we are to hold these people accountable for that, Not only we have to hold them accountable for the amount of millions of dollars that they throw on the drain in that 50th anniversary, so-called independent 50th anniversary thing.
No. I listen. It was our 50th anniversary of independence, and I think we all were glad for it to happen. But we seriously need to ask ourselves, because I was about to ask that question before you called. Where are the lights that were around the stadium? Not the stadium, the Carriacou. Where are the poles that were there? I see some of the poles remain, one or two remain, but those that were removed.
Who is that belonging to? Where has them gone to?
And the lights that were there as well, because we know that significant amounts of money, in some instances we earn as much as $500,000 was spent for those.
Yeah, 50 grand, 50 million,
500,000. That's what I'm hearing.
500,000, yes. Well, I think the Prime Minister said that he was going to put it somewhere. When the host on the program asked him, well, what's going to become of those lights? He said he's going to put it somewhere else. They're going to be fitted somewhere else. I say, wow, where that go be? But that's money. Watch me. That is like you give children money and they just sweep it out of the house and you see it all over the yard. I don't understand what's going on. And there are some so-called intelligent people I listened to Fabian this morning, Mr. Thomas. I listened to this man this morning on a program. And this man, he doesn't have any base for his, I wouldn't call it facts, base for what he's saying. Right? I listened to the other one down by you down there, where it used to be before.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The one that afraid to take you on. You want to take on Mr. Pierre. Yeah?
No, you must call here.
No,
I open the program. KJ can call at any time, and we could have the discussion. Anytime KJ
I don't
could call.
understand this guys. This guy is saying something different. You know, you're telling the man about the corruption that's going on in this country. The host of the program, right, pointing out the different areas where they're lacking accountability and all of that. And the man just going around about this is the best man ever. Yeah? No, man, this something is wrong with us. And this man's supposed to be a Christian, you know.
It seems the man is over infatuated with the man.
Oh,
He's overly infatuated. Okay, the man is overly infatuated. I understand, you know. Okay.
I mean, come on. Now, you say a Christian's supposed to stand for truth, right? If you say you're a Christian, your base for operation is truth.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and they think we hate. We don't hate the prime minister, his colleagues. We don't hate these people. We wish that they could correct their mistakes and all what they're doing and do things right that Grenada would benefit and we come out a winner.
Mm-hmm.
But this other one talking about our caretaker should join up with all join up. They had to join out. They had to go out. They had to go out. Not join up with what? Or they like we ideas? They love our ideas. Sister Nolan, keep going, sister. Keep going, yeah. When join up and give we give ideas, but they ain't taking it because they're so proud. You know? Anyway, we gonna take care of this light thing, man.
Man, I feel the problem is them fellas have a light. That is why they go and do what they do. They have a light.
Oh, guys. Oh, somebody said the light shining in a lady bedroom, you know.
Oh, God.
What's that? These lights we had there. These lights that we had little on the Honorable Jules. That was lights. That was the people that did that well, as the caller said. You could have said any part of the wall and put it on. Yeah? Yeah? Just as how they had a generator in the hospital, they had one or have it. The man had to sit down by the door when Coran go. He had to kick on the generator. That is how this light operating down there, you know, up there. Oh gosh, Lord, we are laughing because it is a laughable thing. But the kind of team that we have operating and I mean, come on, this team, that team. Oh my goodness! All they could say and do all they want. The Grenadian people find all you out already. And before long, you all would be goners. You all have to go. That's our fundamental rights to demand you all to do what you're supposed to do. But you all are not doing it. So we got to change all, yeah. You all going to be changed. Yes? Mm-hmm. Because Grenadians need... Look at the crisis. Watch me, 9/11. Who was in office 9/11? That
Dr.
team that was in office, we hell under them. When we came in 2013, that team 13, man, listen, we find the solution for the
Pastor, let me just clarify because a lot of people say we go and put fake information. 9/11 was the new National Party in office, but what happened is that you had such a shock to the world economy that it took a rebalancing of the Grenadian economy, and Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell and his team were able to properly guide us. What ended up happening after is that, because you remember, after you had 9/11 in 2001, was it? And then by 2004, after you start to rebalance your economy, boom, you get hit with Ivan, boom, you get hit with Emily, and then elections hit in 2008. Yeah, so we don't want them go and say we're saying wrong thing here. I just wanted to correct it.
No.
Yeah.
No. Listen, who was in office in 2011?
2011 wasn't 9/11. 9/11 was in 2001.
2001.
Yes. That's
right,
why I say
bad.
we have people listening. We want to maintain our credibility. Yeah.
Right. Sorry. Yeah, yes. You're correct. 9,
Yeah.
11, 21. Yes,
Yeah.
21. Yes. But listen, when that the Twin Tower went down, we had never see. We maintained. We had sent nobody home. You remember that? You know,
But no,
everybody.
Dr. Mitchell has always been averse to sending chunks of people. Remember, some countries in the Caribbean during COVID used that as the opportunity to trim the public service, you know.
Yes,
So
they
you
did.
had in St. Vincent, you had, I think, in Barbados, some countries use that as an opportunity to get rid of civil servants. In Grenada, civil
Yes,
servants did not
some
hurt their
countries
head.
right. And I think, and that's where
from-
the curation,
Uh-huh.
the treat, what do you call it? Yeah, the curation. The three to 10 yeah, something like that.
I'm trying to remember. The attrition program.
Yes,
Yeah, the
yes,
attrition
treat
program. Yeah, I understand
attrition,
what you're
yes.
speaking about. Yes.
Yes. But the doc decide no, IMF, you're giving us some advice, but there are some we wouldn't take. We will take the conducive ones, but what is not conducive, we're not going to take it. And with respect. You see what's going on? Look today what's going on in America, Grenada, America. Look what's going on. Huh? Cuba has always been in Grenada as a workforce. Yeah? We always friendship with Cuba. But you never heard the American authorities tell Grenadian, hey, all you have to get out of our books, you know, because you're all friends with Cuba. No, because we knew what diplomatism was. We know what a bilateral relationship and all of that be. Yeah. Anyways, have a good one, man. Look out for the lights.
I tell them fellas have a light. All right, Paz, you have a good one.
Good night, brother. Good night.
Them fellas have a light. That's all going on with them. Yeah. Yes, Papa. Hey. Let me see. But folks, because I mentioned something on the screen for tonight. You all realize that all of a sudden all NDC ministers hiding from the media, they would go to their programs. When I say their programs, they would go to the GIS, obviously, and nothing is wrong with that. You're the government and it's the government information service, so they utilize there. But you all realize that, I realize since Carnival they hiding. Since before, but especially since Carnival. I'm not seeing government ministers coming onto things like GBN and so. They hiding. The Prime Minister's program that he used to have on a weekly basis, like they want to gaslight us into believing that never exists. All of a sudden, all they realize that program disappear. Watch them run and put it back now. All they realize the DM disappear. He gone, just like how the Prime Minister always gone, that gone too. Probably they believe that we were getting too much ammunition on a weekly basis out of it. They had a press conference. They say it's the first of a weekly press conference. Remember that, all you? A line on them? Grenadians, am I lying on the members of the National Democratic Congress? The three amigos sit down there. Was Ron, Tevin, and Andy. Three of them sit down there. And the three of them said to us, the Grenadian people, that's how this is going to be a weekly event. Well, a woman by the name of Jenny Simon went there, and that was the end of the weekly press conference. They hiding from the media. When last have you seen a proper press conference? Yeah? When last have you seen that? They do a thing this week, but they stick to bonds. They're dealing with the household. Because I know they're broke, so they need to find our money now to try and do like St. Lucia is doing, to pay the civil servants a little bonus for the Christmas. But they don't have the money. So they have to try and raise the money through the bond now. I mind it's a good opportunity for Grenadians, if you have money and if you qualify, to be able to buy bonds and make a look of money and thing, learn about investments, that kind of thing. NNP government go pay it, don't worry. I know I'm saying, NNP government go pay it. Yeah, it's a bond and they wouldn't be in offices. NNP go had to pay the rest of it. So NNP go pay. You could go and buy your bonds. NNP go pay. Yeah? But understand that these people are hiding from the media. So they had one weekly press conference. So that looked like, I know, maybe, I don't know if they chop up that one weekly and piece supposed to come out every week for the next 52 weeks. I don't know what taking place. But I do know that they're hiding. And you have to start asking yourself, why are they hiding? Are they afraid because we have a habit here of every time they open their mouth, shutting them back up? Every time they come and they talk their nonsense on these programs. When I say these programs, not these programs, you ain't coming here. But the programs like the DM with the PM and them kind of thing, or the press conference, they find they're giving too much ammunition to opposition forces. Is that the problem that they have? Or is it that the Prime Minister and others are afraid of questions? He's gone to the United Nations now. I see the Foreign Affairs Minister here, the man who tell the Americans they could take the passport and... Yeah, that man. I see they hugging up, I think it's a Russian, one of them Russian and them. Yeah. So they're out. When they come back, you think they're going to have any press conference to say we went to the United Nations, these are some of the connections we have made, these are some of the agreements and memorandums of understanding that we have signed, these are some of the things we intend to do, these are some of the positive outcomes of the state of Grenada from the United Nations? No, they ain't coming and tell us nothing. But bet your bottom dollar, when the Prime Minister starts to speak his airhead speech anytime over the next few days at the United Nations, all of them will be running out of their skin. Oh, the best speech ever delivered, and best speech this, and I could write the comments for you now and post it online for them to just copy and paste, because you know what they come in and say under there. Oh, what a wonderful speech. The Prime Minister speaks so well. You expect him to go there and say, You expect him to speak well. He's a lawyer. You expect him to make sense, but he does fail us a lot in relation to that. Yeah? And then there is not a symbiotic nature between reality and what he says. That should have been working together like that. It doesn't work together like that for him. Yeah, them just say one thing out on them forum and do a next thing in the country. So we have our situations in the country where there are mothers reaching out to me on talking points that they're trying to see what assistance they can get. They can't send the children to school. They can't send the children to school. As I said, any of you want to help a child, not me. Any of you that want to help a child, not me, not help me, help a child, contact me and I'll put you in contact with some of these people because they have their children. And I'm not putting you in contact with people that idle and would just be calling you every 2 minutes. Can you send some money for me? No. I'm putting you in contact with people who are looking for a job, who I know for a fact are actively searching for employment. Yet still you hear the government talking about, well, everybody employed and lots of employment in the place. Where? Which country? Which country? There are many people still looking for jobs. Yeah? We have a caller online. Hello, good night. Hello, good night.
Hello, Governor.
Hey.
The geezer here.
The geezer, man. How are you doing?
The geezer.
Well, we have other people heading to Dubai, you know. We have other people heading to Dubai now. Dubai is a one for all for everybody going Dubai now.
Well, of course they are.
Yeah, man.
It's tax-free, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's a home for the tax-free, for the rich and the famous. It's not for us poor people anymore. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The lights, what you've shown on on your pictures, the top one seems like it's called daylight bulbs. So that is a daylight. So, for instance, like F1, Formula 1, when they go to Dubai and other countries, they are actually daylight. They're classed as daylight bulbs. But the one at the bottom is your straightforward LED lights. When they changed those bulbs, they didn't. It seems to me they don't. They haven't adjusted the angle back to the field. But the ones at the bottom, it looks like that's a lower wattage on your bulbs. So the front top is called the daylight, right? But the bottom one looks like a standard floodlight. But they haven't adjusted the height of it, holding it down to the actual field itself. So the standard bulb is just like if you put how can I put it to you in a simple terms? When you do horse racing, horses have blinkers, yeah, and it's just straight. If you've got a horse with no blinkers, they can actually see 360 degrees, so you can see right round. That's what's happening to your bulbs in that playing field. Your top one is your bright daylight, so that gives you a full 360 degrees, right? But the second one underneath is your standard blinkered light bulb. That's what they've done, but they haven't adjusted it to against the field. That's what it is. It looks like to me.
Okay, so I understand.
So that's why it is that the bottom one is a lower voltage, right? But the first one is your they class it as a daylight, but they do cost a lot of money to run. All right, so if you look at F1, right, and when they do their races at different times of the year or different countries, you can actually see it's like what's on your first picture. But with your standard underneath, that's your standard bulb. All right.
Wow. Okay. No, I understand. I understand a bit better now.
Huh?
No, I say I understand much better now. I know there was also an app that was used for those lights in Las Vegas called Moscow. So it's an app where you could have monitored the lights on a different times, and you could have turned it on and off. And
the daylight apps, the daylight bulbs can be adjusted by remote, but your standard bulbs, like an ordinary street light, for instance, that's what they are. They're just standard, but they're blinkered, so they're just as an angle for one angle only. But with the top, you can see from the top and your bottom picture is daylight, so that's 365 degrees, and the other one is your blinkered, so it's a straight blinkered spotlight. All right, my friend, thank you so very much. Just to let you know, look on your WhatsApp, I sent you a picture. That's what you need for yourself, mate. All right.
Okay, thank you very much, my brother. I hope you have a wonderful night.
Okay, Governor, have a nice evening.
All right, good, thanks.
All right.
Yes,
Bye.
indeed.
Bye.
Let me see what I need to get there. Nice, right. I'll check it out there in that time. Nice. Yeah, let me see. Oh, that. Yeah. I've never tried that before, so I might have to try that one. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah. So somebody corrected me a while ago, and I just take correction in public. Yeah. If I say something in public and somebody correct me in public, I think it. They say I pull up the wrong Bertrand John. Yeah, they said I pull up the wrong Bertrand John, excuse, and then they tell me where to find the right one. So to Nutmeg State, here it is, right? It's Moses Bertrand John, right? Agronomist. So the one that we had before, that one is the wrong one. This one is the right one. And you see, I find out where you vote in there. St. Anne's Pre-Primary School, nice. Moses Bertrand John, right? So that's probably where the it's not an error, but the mistake was coming from. So this is the wait. I have another Moses there. That one is Black Bay. All right, okay. Yeah, Moses John there and Moses John. A lot of Moses John, boy. What? Yeah. Jelani Moses. Jaffa Jelani Moses John too. Yeah. Why? What? We papa. Yes, indeed. So Nutmeg State. Once again, Nutmeg State. That is it here. Yeah? So the other John, Bertrand John, is the wrong one. Alright? So there's the Bertrand John here. Nice, beautiful. 1473-440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program. That's 1473-440-7377. That is the number for you to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program. And folks, don't forget, tomorrow it's going to be happening at the new National Party headquarters out there in Tempe. It's the end of month lime. Yes, so go on out there. They're going to have some wonderful barbecue chicken, barbecue fish. You can get fried chicken, fried fish. They have drinks on sale and so on. They have dominoes going on. They have card games going on and so on. Checkers, go and see if you could take on Dr. Mitchell in a game of checker. If you get your licks, you get your licks. Go and see if you can take on Dr. Mitchell in a game of dominoes. All right, and folks, I haven't mentioned this one for a little while. I can't do my look a friend that. Yeah, I can't do my look a friend that. Remember? Yeah? Cooperative Bank, Kelly George, account number 1070-63547. And Nexa Credit Union, Melian Francois, 221-553-100. So folks, if you are able to assist, please assist this young one. Yeah, I know they're trying, so please assist this young one. All right, and then I have my other friends. No, I ain't getting ready to finish yet, you know. No. I mentioned this one to you all a while ago, the After Work Lime. Yeah, that is going to be taking place tomorrow from 4 p.m. at the new National Party headquarters there. And they say, yeah, just come with the good vibes. Wear the good vibes there and bring your good vibes too. So it's going to be a nice one at the new National Party headquarters there tomorrow. And we have a caller online. Hello, good night.
Sheldon, good night.
Good night, my dear. How are you doing tonight?
Not too bad at all. And you?
I'm good. Just the throat getting a little problem, but I'm good otherwise.
I realize that. Drink a lot of honey.
Yeah. I'm trying.
Yeah, something I want to tell you, Sheldon, concerning the road coming down to St. George's area. When you reach to Molinier, where them Nicholas and them living, there is 3 big man hole there.
Mm-hmm.
Then you need to get that done and coming up a little higher. There is 2 big one there again.
Remind me the exact area again.
By them Nicholas and them in Molinier, where they park out the vehicles on the side by Miss the shop there.
Yeah.
There is 3 big holes there. They need to get that done, and then coming down a little before Momo's corner, there is 3 big hole there again. So I want the revenue authority to look into it and see they could get something done. Because our vehicle going to mash up the axle going to get damaged and so on there.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you all the authority to look into it for me, please.
Okay. All right, my dear. Thank you so very much for your concern. Huh?
Okay, you're welcome.
All right, thank you. So we have to look at that one. That is, she said, where the Nicholas and them is there. I think I know the exact location. That is going to be a problem. And then somebody sent some picture. There's the lights and them. Right? This is what going on with those lights. That is what going on with some of them solar lights and them. No, that is not there, right? Nah, there's what going on with some of them solar lights. Nah, man, we have to do better than that. Yeah, we have to do better than that. And I hope it's not people that go and root it out or pull it out, and if it fall out for itself, so But you see, when you're doing quick thing, yeah, you're doing thing for show and not for reality anyway. By the way, all you, they fixed that traffic light in town here that get bounced down nearly last year, a few days before last year Christmas when the fire truck was trying to douse the fire in town. They fixed back the traffic. I haven't been in town for a very long time. They fixed back that traffic light yet? Yeah? It fixed? Anybody? Message me, call me, tell me. They fixed that traffic light yet? It just shows you the incompetence of the individuals, yeah? You continue to see the incompetence of the individuals. Solia man, thank you. Yeah, you continue to see the incompetence of these individuals. So they fix back that traffic light. Anybody? Message me. I want to know if they fix back the lights yet. Nice? Because these are the kind of things that continue to happen in our country, the incompetence of the individuals in office. But the thing is, they are incompetent, they refuse to acknowledge their own incompetence, their supporters are supporting their incompetence, and they are broadcasting their incompetence as victories. So the individuals who are incompetent believe that those who are saying, hey, are you incompetent, believe that the people telling them something bad, when you're telling them something for self-improvement that's going to benefit the country. They want to hear that. They're just going ahead, oh, we're doing good. You're doing what good? Look at the state of the country. Look at the state of what's going on. You're doing what good? My goodness. Folks, I think that's it for tonight. Yeah, I'm going to take it slightly earlier tonight because, I'm going to have to take it slightly earlier tonight. So, folks, in whatever you say, whatever you do it safe and secure. I want to be speaking to and with you and definitely not about you. Love each and every one of you. I think I'll play a song for the Prime Minister, Yeah, I think we will play a song for the Prime Minister tonight. We have enough time? Yeah, we have enough time. We will play a song for the Prime Minister tonight as we head on out. Love each and every one of you. Folks, I'll be back on Monday, God's willing. I wanted to do the Friday, but you're hearing what's going on. So I'll be back on Monday, God's willing, with more talking points for you. I'm Sheldon Scott. I am out.